Welcome back everyone. Today I have another banger of a build based around the Servants of Wrath incantations, with two variations depending on what you prefer, more damage or faster application of poison and scarlet rot. The first style, where you can apply the debuffs the fastest, requires two Unspur Rapiers with poison affinity and poisonous mist skill on both of them. The skills will be used to coat both weapons in a layer of poison for an almost instant application. This will trigger the AR buffs from the Mushroom Crown and Kindred of Wrath Talisman, and the fast multi-hit combo from dual wielding rapiers will trigger the buff from Millicent Prosthetis Talisman. Eat an Exalted Flesh on top of that and you reach around 1002 AR on each weapon. The stats are similar on both builds except the strength, dexterity and intel spread. Due to the rapier's C scaling in both stats, I found that 23 strength and 46 dexterity is the optimal spread for the highest AR on this build. This setup is very effective even against opponents very resistant to rot and poison, such as Exekes and Radagon. But it's pretty bad against opponents immune to these effects, like the Elden Beast. Luckily, we have Pest Threads for that, which is amazing against big targets, but it needs a heavy investment into Fate in order to deal good damage. I used Kindred of Wrath Spiritash for this style because he is cool and fits the team. The second style is the one I like more, and it's perfect if you plan on going into New Game Plus. It focuses on physical damage more than applying rot and poison, and it makes use of the Rotten Crystal Spear and the pike with keen affinity and repeating trust skill. Poison armament will be used on the pike and then press L1 as much as possible, or the skill whenever you have the opportunity. With every buff active, the AR of the Rotten Spear will be 1417, while the pike's AR will be 1367. At this level I use the Clawmark seal to cast the spells. This setup is good against targets with high HP and low mobility, like the Fire Giant, because I have enough time to attack in order to deal a lot of damage and eventually apply a rot and poison. The stats at level 100 with Godric's Great Rune active are as follows: 50 Vigor for a decent amount of HP, 17 Mind is enough because the Spiritash is cheap and so are the spells, 25 Endurance is enough to mid-roll and have some stamina to spam attacks, 20 Strength is the minimum needed to wield the pike, 64 dexterity because both spears have B scaling, so the damage will be high. 16 intelligence is the minimum needed to wield the Rotten Crystal Spear. 13 fate is enough to use the spells, and more than 14 arcane is not needed at this level. Both builds use the same armor, and although it's very ugly, the Mushroom Crown raises the AR by 10% if something nearby is rotten or poisoned, so it fits the build. I thought the Tree and Beast Surcoat also fits the build because of the green and maroon or dark orange colors, which are the colors of poison and rot. For the boots and gauntlets, I picked the Godric Knight pieces, but anything works as long as you can mid-roll. Kindred of Wrath Exultation raises the AR by 20% if something is rotten or poisoned. Millicent Prosthetis gives 5 bonus dexterity and raises the AR with successive attacks, which is nice considering we dual wield weapons with high attack speed. Rotten Winged Sword Insignia raises AR with successive attacks, and it is a little better than Millicent Prosthetis but without the bonus dex. Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman is great because it reduces the incoming physical damage by 20%. Flox Canvas to boost the potency of incantations by 8%, but only against huge targets and only if you invest more points into Fate. Poison Mist is used in the form of a skill on the first style, so no need to use it as a spell as well. Poison Armament imbues the weapon with 45 poison for a minute, which helps applying poison faster. Scarlet Aeonia is too expensive and I cannot use it at level 100. Pest Threads is an amazing spell, but needs more points into Fate to reach its potential. Dealing physical damage, it gets improved by the AR buffs from the poison and rot applications and the Exalted Flesh. The Spiritash for the second style is the Rotten Stray. He dies pretty fast, but if you can tank a few hits, he is very aggressive and will attack fast. His fangs also apply Scarlet Rot, so he will help you to proc it faster. In the Flask of Wondrous Physique, I used the Dexterity Knot tier for 10 bonus points into Dex and Tornic Racked tier because it boosts the AR with successive attacks, which stacks with Winged Sword Insignia and Millicent Prosthetis. Other consumables are the Boiled Crab, which reduces incoming physical damage by 20% and is used only against enemies with high physical damage, like Godfrey, and the Exalted Flesh, which will be used as much as possible because it boosts the physical damage we deal by 20%. If you want to go to level 150, the first style will need all 50 points into Fate in order to deal better damage with Pest Threads, and also be able to use Golden Vow. For the second style, 5 points into Endurance for more stamina, 11 points into Dexterity to reach 80, so you can replace the Dexterity Knot tier with Fate Knot tier, and 34 points into Fate for the same reasons like the first style. Let me know down in the comments which style you like more, and if you think I deserve, please like the video and subscribe. It helps me more than you can imagine. Thanks for watching.